1953, my great-grandfather, Henry Aker, left his home in Kenyon, Minnesota and flew to San Francisco to visit his daughter Charlotte, who lived in Berkeley. I know this because he left behind a scrapbook of his trip, something I found in my father's things after my father passed away. Henry wrote,
"As the TV program says, you asked for it."
In 2003, 50 years after Henry's trip, I made my own trip to San Francisco. I remember that trip because I kept a sketchbook and shot some video. The trip was Henry's first time on a plane. He was in his 80s and he liked the attention and coffee he got from the flight attendants.
As the TV program says, this is your life.
In his scrapbook, Henry wrote about the apartment building his daughter lived in, the coffee he drank, the people he met, and the things he saw.
Mrs. West, Mamie by all, is my partner in canasta, beating me in every game.
In my sketchbook, I drew the city's wires and buildings. I videotaped my rides on streetcars and cable cars, and also the things you could animate by dropping a coin at the Musée Mécanique.
While out with Mamie and Charlotte for a ride, I felt the Kenyan urge for a cup of coffee.
Henry collected sugar packets and postcards and restaurant menus. I collected my transit and symphony tickets and flyers of things I went to.
I took many rides to see the country of California. Along the lowlands on swampy ground, they raise a lot of artichokes. I've ate them, but one a year would suffice. My recipe for them is this: cook them well, take the damn thing in your hand, break off one leaf at a time, dip in butter, suck off the butter, throw the leaf on the carpet.
We both were delighted by the light and blooms of California while our Minnesotas were covered in snow.
January started out dry, sunshine and not too much fog. Soon we noticed spring was on its way. Trees, destitute of lemons, started to bud out for the flower decoration. Soon the flowering peach and the quince were in their glory, pink and red. At a distance, it looked like a cloud or heavy fog. The barkeep's a very chatty fellow and has a joke for every state. I got the best of him, though. He asked me where I was from. I said Mars. I came in a saucer. He was stumped.
Henry died 5 years before I was born. He lived his whole life in a small town 60 miles from where I live, but I know him best from those weeks he spent in California near the end of his life. I know him from this scrapbook.
Started out a chilly morning with eyes open and the firm idea not to miss one sight.
Both Henry's and my Bay Area vacations have slipped into the past, the realm of memories and artifacts. Mixed up journal pages and computer files result in fortunate overlaps. Maybe we both stumped that bartender, or maybe I just laughed. Maybe, over coffee and artichokes, we did some future vacation planning, but never did hook up a second time. But for a few minutes, 50 years apart, we shared some geography, some sights and some streets, and marked it on paper.
shows the people of Berkeley appreciated my stay by naming a street in my honor.